Coming up in this episode of Behind the Sound.
My stuff might not be the stuff that comes on at the club at 1:30 in the morning, but 3 in the morning when you're out on the highway and the windows are down in the summer and you're introspective, that's when my music comes into play.
And she didn't go home with you?
Yeah.
It's going down, people gather around. Grab a mic, let's rap, it's Behind the Sound. It's going down, people gather around. Grab a mic, let's rap, it's Behind the Sound. 7ide7moke.
Yeah.
Baby G on the mic.
Go.
Live on Behind the Sound, baby. Yeah.
You get up early, work it late. Well, I heard this money is yours to make. If you on your job 25/8 and you want greatness, I swear that's all it takes. Love.
Yeah, that's all it takes, right? It's light work, right? Blood, sweat, and tears, tracking keyboard and a mic, right? Thousands of bars, 3 beats a night, like no sleep, no paper, defeats and no favor. Still savor every L like it's a passage to write, right? Graduate, get a degree that's worth nothing. Gratitude, slaving away to make something. Live credit free with no cake till you see something. Working 9 to 5 and realize you need something. Read something just so your mind can be something. Fast all day so at night you can eat something. Cash all day while they want you to swipe something. Hashtags and plays, they want you to like something. Smash that and say subscribe if you like something. You see black and white, but I see 7 sides. I say I ain't tired, but I'll be lying. That's all it takes.
I sacrificed my life for the belief in myself. When you was at the function, I was seeking my wealth. I'm at the gym, 7 a.m., I'm focused on health. No one checked in to see how I felt. Look, I had to put this shit in motion. Nobody did it for me, had to do it by my lonesome. Tank was riding E, I was gas, I was coasting. Now I'm pouring champagne on Rolexes when I'm toasting. Don't mean to come out like I'm boasting. You survive the trenches and you flourish. Try not to mix legit business with the burners. And remember, when they finally close the curtains, don't sell your soul just so you can dry the Urus. Be the hardest working one in the room. Nobody got rich if they sleep until noon. RIP the guys I lost from the crib to the tomb. Had no fear, I'll be seeing you soon. But till then, you get up early, work it late. Well, I heard this money is yours to make. If you on your job 25/8 and you want greatness, I swear that's all it takes. Look, come on, man. You know where we come from? A lot of time ain't nobody gonna help you. You gonna have to help yourself. Pull yourself up out that mud. Let's go. 7ide, baby. Come on.
That was hard, bro.
That was hard, eh?
You killed that one.
I'm good with it. Once I like kind of get in the vibe, I just had to run through the. Bro, most times it's like I really do this shit, bro. These guys be out here. They want to do it, but they're not really doing it. I really do this. I love that.
Welcome to this episode of Behind the Sound. I am super pumped for this one. We got my man 7ide7moke. Just rocked a track in the booth. Mixtape out right now, Survivor's Guilt. And of course, with him, we got my man Dow Jones and Kicks, the Canadian Diamond Boyz in the building, baby. How you guys feeling?
Yes, let's go. We're outside. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having us.
I've been waiting for this one, man. Thank you guys for coming. Of
course.
Khalil, Smoke, you just rocked one of your tracks in the booth. Tell us what that track is about. What was the inspiration? Tell us a little bit about your verse on it.
The thesis of that track is that, man, it's just about working hard, you know? Like a lot of people try and take shortcuts and they try and like skip past steps to get somewhere, start doing antics and start, you know, trying to be polarizing, controversial or whatever to try and like boost their careers. And that's really like the antithesis of what we're doing. We just try and get up early, stay later than everybody else, work harder, be more consistent, and make sure that that's on point because I might not get it the fastest, but once I get there, you ain't gonna take me off my spot.
Isn't that the truth though, bro? Like how much talent is there out there that will never get heard because people aren't ready to work, you know what I mean? Like there's a whole, it's not even just in music, but in everything, entrepreneurship, there you can have so much talent, but if you're not ready to work on your other disciplines and the other side of it, the business side, the marketing, communications, the networking, whatever that might be, the talent will never be heard or seen.
The trend that I'm seeing right now that's disappointing and a little bit shocking is like people are not willing to work without the promise of immediate payment. So it's like you get guys that'll go buy a $7,000 camera, but they don't want to take pictures unless you pay them. Right. They never took a picture before. What am I paying you for? I'm not paying you for your camera. I'm paying you for your experience. Go get some experience. You don't need to get paid. videographers, artists. You got guys that have only got 2-3 songs on streaming. They want to get a $500 for a feature. For what? Why would I pay you? You
100%.
don't have the experience, right? But it's like everybody wants to get paid because everybody's seeing like YouTubers, Instagrammers, influencers. People are getting paid. They're getting a lot of money, so they think it's as easy as just picking up a tool and asking for payment. But if you are willing to put in the work right off rip without promise of immediate payment, you're going to go a lot farther than the person who is demanding payment without having the experience.
You know, speaking of payment and putting in the work, I have to give a little introduction to my man Cody right here, Kicks, because when we first met, how old were you when you first came to my basement fucking ghetto ass studio in my house?
I was probably
16?
15, 16. Yeah.
So this little boy comes in, you know, not that we're grown men right now. We're fucking kids still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we were just talking about that off camera. But seriously, this little 15-year-old boy comes in with his hat backwards or tipped to the side or however we were rocking it back then.
Yeah.
He came and rocked in the booth and also brought a cousin of his who we ended up working with, Straight Trip, shout out to Trip. And you came in and you rapped, and then I never really saw you again after that. You came in for a few sessions and I started seeing you online building this business with grills.
That's right.
And I was like, I had to ask Trip at one point, like, is Cody for real? Like, because there's a few things, and being an entrepreneur myself who have been told you can't do that, stay in your lane, that's not possible here, you know what I mean? I still had a little bit of that shadow of a doubt, even knowing you and being friends. I'm like, what is this guy up to? Because it was so out of left field from what anybody was doing here.
Right.
At the same time, the other side of that was like, I was really proud of you. Not to sound like an older fucking dad, but to see you come up like that and to see the posts and the lifestyle and the business that you've built around grills and now this luxury jewelry company.
Right.
Man, I was just like, nobody around, never mind here, but as far as I'm concerned, anywhere was doing it the way that you guys are doing it. And so I'm glad that we've been able to come back, reconnect like this.
Right.
So what does it take to build a company like Canadian Diamond Boyz and Cache?
Realistically, from when you're speaking of back in that day, I was just a little delusional, I think, because there was nothing to compare this to. There wasn't social media at that time either. I think we had maybe like MySpace or something was the craziest thing.
Shout out to
Nexopia.
Down knows all about it.
Nexopia, yeah. MSN, that was it. But realistically, I was in the music area because of Straight Trip. So he was always making music and stuff, and I don't know, I was just in the same room. So that's why I started doing some raps with him and this and that. We end up there. But that, listening to the music culture, that's how I understood about the grill situation, the jewelry. And then I like jewelry personally. I was already buying jewelry, and from taking it to that level, just being consistent all the way from the time I was 15, doing my first mold and going all the way back and forth. I think I drove an hour to get a mold, drove an hour back to pick the mold up because it hardened, and then drove an hour back. Then I sent it down to Houston. And I got that meeting by being able to find the connection of that bridge between here, and no one knew about grills in Canada at that time. Really, it was pretty. No one was on it. Even the grill song, I don't even think was out with Paul and at that time.
Nelly and
Did that help explode the business when
100%.
that came? Yeah.
It kind of like related. Everyone's like, oh, now I know what grills are. Before it was just like gold teeth. You file your teeth down, and that's what I literally thought it was when I first seen it. Was the guy that showed me the grills from Waco, Texas, shout out to my boy Coop.
Yeah.
He just had these 4 gold teeth in the front. And I thought in my head, I was like, you can't file your teeth down. I got the biggest horse teeth ever. My mom was going to kill me.
Yeah.
And then he popped this one in when we were going out to a little bar at one point. And I had a little ID, and I just went to go have a beer with him at this little neighborhood pub. And he put the little grill in, and I was like, man, I could get that. Why couldn't I do that? Then I had that. As soon as I had the grills, then it was over, because everyone's, where did you get it?
Yeah.
And I was able to make that bridge. But to take it to the next level, when you're saying I wasn't, was I serious or something? I always thought in my head, I wrote down my goals at that time. I was 15. I still have the old notepad, which is kind of cool looking through it. But I wrote, I wanted to do a grill a day was my goal at the time. And I did maybe like 2 a month at that time. And I just kept going. I made the cards. I got the business. I kind of did the learning process of it, but staying consistent all the way through. Keep in mind that was over 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
So trying to get to the level we're at now, which we have a solid team, our whole entire program, our one store location, we're over 10 years at that, and building those brands, Gold Teeth Canada, Canadian Diamond Boyz and Cache with the luxury brand. Those long-term details of consistency all the way through, that's how it pays off. You have to do it consistently, and you just slowly improve. And, you know, driving up in your truck to now we have a brick and mortar, to now ask about us in the States, ask us about it everywhere. Someone knows about our company.
Yeah.
Every
Good for
day,
you,
so.
man. Like to be as a 15-year-old writing down goals. Like I think it's more people today are more mindful of like journaling and goal setting and that type of shit because it's more out there. People talk about it more.
Yeah.
When did the online company part of that start? Because I feel like that was a little bit ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
And now that's how you are able to become like really a global brand. It's not just about who you can reach here locally. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the local factor is always good, but it never was, it still isn't necessarily like that's all I want to do. It was easy for me to drive up and do the molds. That was cool. But getting that website, I had the domain and all that stuff. I borrowed my mom's credit card, got a domain name, and then somehow made this little stupid website. But this guy, Matthew, my business partner in Maxigram right now, he showed me how to do the whole WordPress site. So we did that, and then he really took it to the next level with the SEO and really showing I was able to convert a product on there. That was long before I had a shop.
Yeah.
At one point, it was like custom engagement ring. Like people were calling me like the most square people. I didn't have them as a customer, which was cool.
Yeah.
But I was able to get, they trusted me because I was the online source. So
That's dope.
that was in, I don't know, I was probably 18 at that time.
Well, listen, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for being here. I want to jump into more of Khalil's story and learn about Smoke and this history of how you became an artist and where that came to. I should give Dow a quick introduction as well first before we jump back into that, Smoke, because I learned very recently, I've seen Dow online and shit like that on your guys' page. And then one time I came in and Cody's like, do you know who Dow is? I'm like, well, I know who he is, yeah. And he's like, used to have a rap group. I'm like, what rap group? Mood fucking Rough.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
He was outside.
And during that time, this is a time where there's only one way you make it. There's a real telltale sign that you've made it. And that's when your video gets played on Much Music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Now you can get 1 million views and it's still like, okay. You know,
weren't on Much Music.
you know what I mean? Like 1 million views is like nothing these days. And who knows if Much Music even had that audience. But you had your video on Much Music. You fucking made it. And we saw Mood Rough from Winnipeg. We're like, yo, these guys are fucking fire. And so doing it on a level that we wanted to be doing at, that local artists here strive to, you know what I mean? Tell us a little bit about that music part of your life and why you don't fucking rap anymore, Dow.
I kind of lost I feel like the main reason, to answer the last question, the main reason why I don't rap anymore, I feel like because that was a transition when the internet was coming in. And I was never used to anyone talking to me like that. You know what I mean? So like, maybe a Toronto blog would post it up and then I'd have all these people just say like wild shit about me. And I'm like, what? Okay, like
That was trying to trace the VPN back to the home address.
For real though, I was like, yo, how do I find this person? So I couldn't compute it. You know what I mean? Like I'm used to people talking to me face to face, right? And then I just didn't know.
It's fucked up. Social media is fucked up.
I didn't know how to handle it at that point. So that was really like messing with like my mental, like just well-being in general. Like I literally wanted to like fight everybody. I was like, nah. I was like, yo, who's like, why is no one saying any of this to my face? But it's like, it's popping up on like blogs
sites
and
that
kind of stuff. And I'm like, you're just saying like the wildest, craziest shit. And
but also, like, bro, nobody talks shit unless it's worth talking shit about. If nobody's saying anything, that's the problem. You know what I mean?
That was the beginning of that. So
sure.
you didn't.
It hurts. It's hard to take that shit. Yeah.
I could take this shit all day.
Right.
But then I was just, I didn't know how to process it. I was like, yo, like,
I get that.
Like who's Mikey 187 like that, and he's
hotmail.com.
And I was like, yo, why does he hate me so much?
I need a conversation with Mikey.
I'm like, I gotta call my people in Toronto and find out who this guy is.
Professional trollers.
And then I'm like, oh man, there's like 7 more. I'm like, yo,
yeah.
But it was just like years and like like as it started to grow, it was just like it was a lot to take in. I think my skin got a lot thicker, but it just kind of killed the passion for me as far as like when I started DJing. I was like, okay, I could play it. Like now, if someone doesn't like it or whatever, I didn't write the song. I don't care. Wait like 3 minutes and then
Yeah, and I got you.
go get
yeah,
a drink. And I'm
100%.
like, you know what I mean? So I never took it personally, but like some of those songs took me like a year to write. Some took me 15 minutes, but I'm like, they were personal. I write very personally, right? So I was just like, man, I was having a hard time like just taking all that in.
Yeah.
So
Do you think that music from then to now, like I've watched you on Much Music, I think it was Rap City when I was in grade 3.
right.
And that, I didn't know when I met Dow. For real, I remember watching. There was like Len, Steal My Sunshine, then Dow Jones was up next. No hooks. But
shout out to Len.
yeah, on the big picture, the do you think the music, like what you were writing, like, cause some of the I didn't know Dow was that person until after him and I were already doing business all the time.
Yeah.
And one of our employees actually kind of would rag on him and just like knows all these stats. And I was like, man, this is kind of cool. So I did a little bit of my own research.
Woodruff was crazy, bro.
It was hype.
It was big.
I was so
Yeah. It was
little though.
big.
I was so little. It wasn't to the. But now I hear the stories and I listen to the music.
Yeah.
We'll be on a road trip and he's telling me, "Yo, this time I was doing this. I was running. He was shagging some chick and then like he took home like some mom and this and that. And he wrote this. The song is about it. Which,
Like,
do you think that still connects? Like, do people really write it that deep like you did? Like that's the true like.
I mean,
hip-hop
like
days, right?
certain people do like
The good ones do.
like,
It's crazy to think that.
I mean, like some
Khalil
people,
does.
Yeah, Khalil's like
Experience,
definitely does.
right?
But some people write other people's stories, which is fine too. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. Like you might not have the most crazy, interesting life, but you can tell a story, or you can you could write something, or you write something for the masses. That's just very
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. Music, all music has a place. Even bad music, good music, whatever. It all has a place. I even say that like when I'm DJing, like my Serato. Like every song has a day.
Yeah.
Might be the only day I ever play it, but this is the perfect day for that song.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Yeah, only a DJ knows that.
Right. Even the videos, you got to say that when he recorded videos, they had to do it on these tape films.
on film.
Yeah.
Like, film.
Film. Yeah, you could actually run out of film.
Yeah.
You know, you can shoot till the cows come home now. But there was that we shot in a time where you're shooting in 35 and you could fucking run out. And it was very expensive. You couldn't waste takes on bullshit, right?
No.
Yeah.
I remember the first film or the video we ever did, and I was like, they were telling me, okay, it's about $750 for 15 minutes of film. I'm like, okay, so I'm like, cool, because I'm like, our song's only 3.5 minutes, so we could shoot 3 videos. They're like, no, we need like 2 hours worth of film just for the one video. I was like,
Right.
what? And that doesn't make sense. Like, you know, and then I was
Multiple
like,
takes,
Yeah.
multiple angles.
Like
and that's nothing, right? You think
yeah.
about the actual time it takes to shoot a video. How many takes we do? If you shot your verse, we do 4 different angles of just your verse. That's one fucking scene.
Well, I mean,
You know what
I just
Like,
do it on one take, but yeah, I know regular people. Just
settle down. Settle down.
playing.
Listen,
Even I need 2, man.
you did it. You rocked that shit, and we could have used your first take. We just did an option with and without the grills.
Yeah.
So shout out to Smoke because I don't know if everybody really understands that, but when rappers come in this booth here, I give them a few takes and that's it. We're going all the way through. We're not punching in. None of this shit is fake. You're not getting multiple chances to do it. So we get a couple takes until the artist is happy with it, and that was literally 2 takes, bro. So shout out to you.
Yo, Smoke will book a 2-hour session and knock out 4 songs.
Yeah.
No, he's crazy with it.
Yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
got
He came prepared. He's ready. I appreciate that. Not everybody, and that's just professionalism. You. That's not just talent. You actually have to prepare, rehearse, be ready, and be professional about what you do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because talented people have come in here and not been prepared, and that's a whole other thing. Whereas talents are not, you can get outworked by rehearsal and work, which is exactly what your song's about, right?
Yeah, it all goes back to that song, man. It's just hard work, being
Yeah.
prepared. Make sure you put yourself in a good position to win. Because if you're not preparing to win, then you're preparing to lose, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's not that difficult, man.
Listen.
People don't understand it, but it's really not that difficult. You just work hard and you make sure that you're on point, and you'll be all right.
Speaking of winning, tell us a little bit about your story, because you went away for a little while. We don't need to get into the fucking details. As you were saying, this is all public. Everything, you can search it up. How do you do time like that and come out rehabilitated, a better person than when you went in, and continuing to do what you do in a positive light that affects other people like that?
I think there's a few factors, but it seems to be like the current theme of the day today is just like, it's the work, man. And you can't expect the system to do the work for you. Because I could go in there, eat junk food, watch a movie every Friday night on the little 19-inch TV, play cards every day, get involved in all the bullshit and do all that. And then I'd come out and I either be worse or the exact same as when I went in.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So you go in and you start doing 300 push-ups every day. You go to the gym twice a day. You start reading. You start tutoring other inmates. You take on social justice things while you're in there. Like there was times in there where I had to sit with the warden and tell her like, hey man, like we're not getting Black History Month in here. We're not getting Juneteenth. We're not getting any celebrations, stuff. Like I had to write petitions. There was hours of work that I put into that.
Crazy.
Just like, and that's just like a small piece of it. It's like, you're going to get out of it what you put into it. So you want to go in there, you want to be the baddest dude. And that's, like we'll clear that up right now. Like I'm not the hardest dude and I've never claimed to be. That's not my mode. I'm not in competition with nobody. I've done what I've done and I've tried to make as many amends as possible. And you hear that in the music as I try and be as responsible with my lyrics as possible too. Cause as artists and like when you have a platform, you're influential. So you got a whole generation of young kids that think that life is a rap video now. And if all they're hearing is negativity, like when was the last time you heard somebody talk about a credit score?
Yeah.
When was the last time you ever heard about somebody say invest your money? That was like
Real to the core.
like
Nipsey.
Nipsey Hussle. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like that's what I strive to be, and that's really like what I try to do because I think it's important. I think that there's a lack of accountability nowadays. I think there's a lack of responsibility. I think that people want everything for free. They don't want to work for it. And we got copy culture going on right now where everybody's just copying the last guy that was successful. So if you hear Drake, you want to sound like Drake because you think you're going to be successful, but you don't understand that the copy culture, you'll never be better than Drake. You want to be like Future, you'll never be better than Future. He's the best. He's already in his lane. Find your own lane, do your own thing, be original, and just stay true to who you are and work hard. And I think that like all of that stuff, like people just don't want to take accountability or responsibility for nothing. They want to be handed things because they can go on Instagram and they can scroll and, oh, yo, this kid's 13 years old and he opens gifts on YouTube and his parents just bought a Lamborghini with his money that he makes on YouTube. Cool, bro. But that's like, what, 1 in 10 million? So if you think that life is supposed to come to you like that and everybody's starting to see that and everybody's starting to follow that and they think that that's reality, we're getting to a disconnect. You have to be responsible and accountable for your actions as an artist with a platform and make sure that you're speaking the message that you want to. I don't even drink alcohol. So what I do, I go get a water sponsor, right? I'm not going to put a bunch of alcohol in my videos. And
Luso, let's go.
Yeah, Luso water, yeah.
I knew Kix was going to shout that shit out. I knew he was going to.
Bro,
I'm surprised you didn't put some bottles out, bro.
I put it in there. I think, for the last pod, I brought the... But no, the guys at Luso, man, they show a lot of love. They sponsor a lot of the events. Like all of my events have Luso in it. You look at all my music videos, I show it and all that. And it's because, like, for real, I feel like responsible and accountable. So if I don't drink alcohol, but I'm pushing alcohol on you, but I'm back here drinking water,
right?
Like, what kind of person am I? You know what I mean?
That's right.
Saying I'm pushing drugs on you, I'm pushing guns on you, violence on you, telling you go do this, go do that in my music, but I'm sitting back here making jewelry, getting my legal bread, and then I'm watching all these young kids that idolize me go to jail or get hurt or lose their life or their families and their mothers are hurting. That's not fair. So it's like, yo, just be accountable, bro. Like, just be for real. Stop the rap cap, stop all that competition shit, and just be you.
Tell us a little bit about, the new music coming out. What's up with this mixtape, the whole Shadyville connection, all of that stuff?
Yeah, so August 3rd, we dropping the tape. I'm sure by the time this airs, the tape will already be out. So if y'all ain't listening to it, you're fucked up already. But August 3rd, Survivor's Guilt, hosted by Dow Jones and Shadyville DJs back in the project. So it's pretty cool, man. We've been putting in a lot of work. We got a lot of major players. DJ A Will is is rocking with us. A bunch of the Shadyville guys, right? So those guys are pushing the project pretty hard with us.
And we get to premiere it on Shootout Radio, which is like it's a pretty big deal. So
crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Yeah, we also we have something locked in with New York Minute, right?
Yeah,
New York Minute. We did a freestyle on New York Minute, like a radio freestyle and stuff. So they're gonna be airing that shortly.
Dope.
August 11th, I believe, is the date that we have locked in to air it. I'm not gonna spoil it, but it went pretty well. I think that we did a good job at it, so I think people are gonna like it. And just other than that, man, we're just it's just like the rest of my music, and I don't say that to mean that it's not special. I just say that to mean like it's very realistic and personal. You know, it's very deep. I don't like to write stuff that I'm not passionate about.
He's incredible with painting a picture.
Yeah,
Like
telling a
just-
story and
yeah,
just
like-
making you visualize it. Yeah, man.
That's my biggest strength. You know, I might not be the greatest rapper in the world. I might not be able to make hits on demand. I might not be able to do a few things, but I can really rap. I really do this. You can put me under pressure at any time, and I will rap. And my writing is my biggest strength. So, for people, my stuff might not be the stuff that comes on at the club at 1:30 in the morning, but 3 in the morning when you're out on the highway and the windows are down in the summer and you're introspective, that's when my music comes into play.
And she didn't go home with you?
Which never happens. Come on, look at this outfit.
Come
You know what I'm
on,
saying?
yeah.
You know she came home.
This dude goes to the club, leaves with one, comes back, and drops her back off.
Oh, that's some get G shit right there.
Yeah, come on,
That's some
man.
real G shit.
I air emote heavy on that.
back in the day, we were doing too much. Man. But now, like, it's funny too, because, you know, like, for real, I'll expose myself a little bit right now. Everybody looks at the Instagram, right? That's what we were talking about. Everyone looks at the Instagram or
Highlight
social
reel.
media, highlight reel, right? They don't realize, like, I'll go to the club, drink water out of a highball glass, do my performance, wait 20 minutes, shake some hands, and leave and go home to my dog, you know, and just go watch TV or start writing new music or whatever. I don't waste time under the influence of substances. I don't waste time partying and doing the most. Like, I already wasted enough time in my life.
I think we did that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You gotta
got
learn.
Yeah, got it out of the
exactly.
way.
Not everybody's gonna
Guilty.
learn right after. Yeah.
But that's, you know,
Gotta go
even when you look at it, like, a lot of my party years too, I was locked up for that shit.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I lost 7.5 years.
Yeah.
So, like, right now, I'm not worried about all that. You know, when we have enough money that we can go sit on the yacht in Greece and go do that, let's go turn up like that. Let's go have some fun like that. Until then, not gonna see me doing that, man.
Get up early, working late.
I got goals. I'm focused. I'm trying to sell the most jewelry. I'm trying to make the most money out the music. I'm trying to influence the most people positively. Like,
Well, I appreciate you guys being here, man. We went a little bit longer than expected, but we had to go through everybody and get this story down, this incredible story of all of you. All It Takes, live on Behind the Sound, is out right now, available everywhere. Cop the mixtape, out right now, available everywhere.
Let's go.
And shout out to Khalil, 7ide7moke, and the Canadian Diamond Boyz. I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you.
word.
Yeah.
Down, take us out, down, take us out, down.
Let's do some
First white
business.
guy in the house party.
Let's go, baby.
Let's do some business.